Welcome to the CalBay Corporate Overview. My name is Patrick Kelly, and I will be guiding you through this quick flash demo. In this demo, we will be addressing the following questions. Who is CalBay? Where is CalBay? What are the services that CalBay provides? And why do our clients choose CalBay? We begin with the question of who is CalBay? CalBay Systems is quickly becoming the largest worldwide solution provider for test and measurement systems with operations in more than 10 cities. Founded in 1992, we have become a select integrator of National Instruments, which is the top 5 out of 700 plus NI Alliance members, and we are also an Agilent channel partner. CalBay is known for our prize-winning projects and innovative products with over 100 user solutions, including prize-winning user solutions at National Instruments Week. We have also created web-based marketplaces such as justtestx.com, justtestjobs.com, justtesttoolkits.com, and justtestprojects.com. And we also have platform products like the FTS200, our functional test system for low-volume, high-mix production environments, as well as IntraStage, our test data management solution. These product lines are discussed in other flash demos, which you can view after seeing the overview. This next slide addresses the various locations where CalBay has offices. CalBay is one of the only National Instruments integrators with global branch offices. Headquartered near San Francisco, we have other California offices in San Diego and Irvine. We've recently opened West Coast offices in Portland, Seattle, and Arizona. We have offices in Texas, Virginia, and Maryland. In Europe, we have branch offices in the UK and Spain. And in Asia, we have a development center out of Bangalore, India. CalBay's qualifications are numerous. We are a CSIA certified member, which means we've been audited in areas of project management, engineering practices, financial management, and standards and quality procedures. CSIA certification is very important for an engineering services company, similar to an ISO 9000 audit for a manufacturer. With our engineering practices, as we've said before, we're a select alliance partner of National Instruments and a channel partner of Agilent Technologies. We have various practices to reuse software, code, technologies, intellectual property for hardware development. We have standard processes for source code control and intellectual property protection, as well as online bug tracking and other project management tools. Software development is one of the areas where CalBay really shines. We have extensive expertise with LabVIEW and TestStand and own the website labviewexpert.com. We also know Visual Basic, C, and CVI. We have a product for test data management called IntraStage, which we will discuss in other flash demos. CalBay also has expertise in a variety of applications. One of our specialties is low-volume, high-mix functional test for production environments in the US and Europe. We are experts at automation with instrument drivers, whether they be GPIB, LXI, PXI, USB, RS-232, or other buses. We have product lines in the vibration test and monitoring space, such as our vibdac.com website. We have the ability to build systems based on the Windows operating system or on embedded operating systems or real-time systems. Finally, we also have expertise in integrating motion control, machine vision, and industrial control, such as PLCs, into our test and measurement services. CalBay's hardware integration services are just as extensive, with mechanical design capabilities in solid modeling and enclosures, electrical design using PCAs, custom wiring harnesses, analog and digital design, as well as simulation. We can also handle fabrication and assembly, allowing our customers to order a complete test system as a single line item using rigorous configuration management with an online PLM. This next slide addresses a very important component of test and measurement systems, and that is project management. CalBay's core competence is the project management of automated test systems. And when you're dealing with project management, you're looking at 3 different constraints. You have the constraints of cost, schedule, and feature set. And in managing any project, you really need to pick one of these constraints that you're going to manage by. Either you're going to try to get the project done on a tight schedule, which will drive up cost and drive down feature sets, or you're trying to get the project done with a tight budget, which may extend out the schedule and may also limit the feature set. CalBay has a number of best practices that we use when managing test and measurement projects. The first practice, which is often ignored, is to spend the proper time up front on design and architecture. So often we see in these automated test systems that people want to jump into the integration rather than spending the time up front to really document how this project needs to be done, what the requirements are, what the constraints are, and how the project may need to scale over time. So one of the CalBay best practices that we always do is spend the proper amount of time up front on this design and architecture. The second thing that we do is we break the project into manageable components. What this allows us to do is take each component and have engineers work on those who are experts at that aspect. It also allows us to do a build versus buy analysis on every component. When we break the project into pieces, we may find that there are off-the-shelf software or toolkits that already exist that can be more quickly adapted to cover those components rather than rewriting everything from scratch. We have found that test and measurement projects are often inefficiently done because the engineers write a lot of code from scratch when there are alternatives, software and toolkits that are off the shelf that can be used. So this practice of breaking the project into manageable components really helps us identify how to speed up the project and use robust tools that are already available. In this slide we talk about the phases of any test project. The first phase is the specification phase. Here we're asking what the system must do. And it's important to take into account all of the stakeholders, not just the engineer or the technician, but also the management, the users of the software, different stakeholders for reporting. Sometimes the engineers are looking at waveform data, managers may be looking at pass-fail data or macro data, yield analysis, etc. The specification needs to take into account the interactions with the DUT, the device under test. We want to document really well the use cases and what is the process that the software must go through. We try to write an initial user manual with screenshots and just showing how the software will work once it's written. We try to write this before we start writing software so that we can develop some screenshots, show buttons, menu items, etc., reports, so that we have full buy-in on the requirements of the software before we get started. It's important to say that in the specifications we look for well-formed requirements. These are requirements that are specific and that are capable of having an acceptance test written around them. The next phase of a test project is the design and the corresponding design reviews. We like to do preliminary design reviews, which we call PDR, and a critical design review. At the critical design review is where we get agreement from all parties that this is the full plan going forward. In this design phase, we look at the risks, we try to prototype those risks and take a variety of risk mitigation processes so that by the time we get to the CDR, we have a very clear picture of what it's going to take to implement, how much it's going to cost, and how long it's going to take. Of course, the next phase is implementation. Then we do validation and acceptance test. This, of course, is much easier when you're working with well-formed requirements. And then there's delivery and customer sign-off. One of the things we strive to do is educate our clients on what is called the cone of uncertainty. A big part of making a test project successful is to understand this cone of uncertainty. A key part of this is to understand that when you're at the concept phase, it's very, very difficult to estimate what the cost is going to be and what the schedule is going to be because there's so many moving parts, there's so many variables, and the requirements just aren't nailed down yet. So until you get from the concept phase to the specification phase, it's really impossible to get a good handle on what the cost of this project is going to be and what the time it's going to take. And anybody who tells you that that's not the case is either uneducated about the cone of uncertainty or is not telling you the truth. So we try to explain this to our clients, and most engineering managers understand that this is the case, that when you start with the concept, until you get to a specification, it's just really hard to get a good estimate. Once we go from the specification phase to the design phase, our estimation abilities get much more precise. And at this point, most engineering services companies can give a fixed price quote within a reasonable level of success. From that point, we move into implementation and deployment, and if the first stages of concept and specification design have been done right, then the project will have a much greater chance of success. So when thinking about how to engage with CalBay, the first thing to note is there is no one-size-fits-all. Every client engagement that we have is unique. We often do fixed price quotes. If we have a good specification, we can deliver a turnkey system. We can also do time and materials projects where we place skilled engineers on site with or without a detailed spec, and we have a variety of customers that prefer this model. We also can do a hybrid type of project where we do time and materials in the early phases, in the concept and design phases, and then we follow that up with a fixed price integration at the end of a PDR or CDR. CalBay's clients include the Fortune 1000, venture capital funded startups, across a variety of industries from biomedical, semiconductor, telecommunications, defense contracting, aerospace, automotive, etc. The next couple of slides address why our customers choose CalBay, and really it's pretty simple. Our clients are focused on improving the designs and the profit margins of their own product, and in this environment, automated test is really a necessary evil to achieve their goal. So in R&D, they use automated test for characterization. In production, they need functional test systems and debug stations. They often also need to support field test. One big reason why clients keep coming back to CalBay is that they realize that their core competency is not automated test system development. They have an in-house staff that's typically lean. In many cases, we'll have engineers that have been promoted out of the department, or the staff just can't handle a big project that's suddenly come up. So our clients count on CalBay to be informed and knowledgeable about the latest technologies and best practices in automated test system development. And the clients know that they can call CalBay for support long after the initial project has been finished, so that the maintenance of these projects is something that they can also depend on CalBay for. This slide addresses the top 5 reasons that clients choose CalBay for their outsourced needs. The first key reason is the power of team. CalBay has more certified LabVIEW and test stand engineers than virtually any company in the world. The second reason is our core competency is automated test. We have world-class standards for project management, and we know how to deliver low-risk solutions for automated test. The third reason is our unmatched test system experience. We've developed thousands of solutions and integrated them for hundreds of clients worldwide. Number 4 is that we're a trusted partner. We're financially stable. We have a solid reputation. This is very important when you think about a test system that may need to be maintained over 5 or 10 years or maybe even more. And the fifth and final reason is that we significantly lower the risk. We have a track record of staying on budget and on schedule. So, in summary, CalBay Systems is time-tested and proven with a 16-year track record. Our core competency is project management of automated test systems. Basically, CalBay Systems lowers the risk of automated test projects. Thank you for watching this flash overview, and I'd like to leave you with this one thought. CalBay Systems is passionate about automated test, and we would love the opportunity to work with you on an extraordinary solution.